And we're live. Hello. Oh my goodness. We all want to know how to grow our tribes, to keep that personal connection and still grow organically and have all the followings on our show and on our pages that we want, all the changing algorithms, so many different social media platforms, so much content that needs to be developed, so little time. And how the heck do we manage it and keep it fun at the same time and engaging and efficient? Oh my gosh, all the things we're going to be talking about today on the Erin Strayer Show. This is where we uplift and leverage amazing female entrepreneurs that are out there doing things just a little bit differently. My name's Erin Strayer. I'm your host today, and I'm an accelerated business strategist and growth consultant and interventionist, and I help you get amazing leverage in and around your business. Today we're talking with Brandie Michelle Peters. Woo! She's in the house. Hi, girl. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I can't complain. I'm already like 6 hours into my day, so that's not too early to get up. But here I am. I made it.
She's from Medicine Hat, Alberta, you guys. If you're here with us, make sure you tell us hi. Let us know that you're here. We love it when you're here and we get to shout you out. This is going to be amazing, amazing information. We're going to jam-pack this next 30 minutes with a value. And so you're going to want to share this with your tribe, with your people, with the people on your team, with the people in your community. And by all means, if you got questions, ask them. We love questions. So ask them. If we're rolling, we're going to try to answer them while we're here. If you're watching the replay, let us know that too, and we'll come back and we'll watch and answer all of your questions on the replay too. So I'm going to talk about you for just a quick second. I got this paper with all kinds of information about Brandie Michelle. So she is a social media strategist, aka growth hacker extraordinaire. No joke. She's launched her career in 2012 when she started selling her services as a content writer and blogger for hire. So it's no joke. She didn't just start yesterday when we get into what we're going to talk about today, people. There's a whole lot of stuff about her. She loves to work off the pocket business model, which is why work from home when you can work from your phone. And I love that. She's personally passionate about social media as a tool for connection and creativity. She is well known for her down-to-earth, refreshing marketing techniques. And when you follow her, you can expect to learn tangible social media marketing tips, as well as a glimpse into the life of a true freedompreneur. I love that word. I was so glad that was in here. I'm like, she's a mama of two. So we can all relate to her and being a mom and a work from home and a freedompreneur. And yeah, 11 months and 5 years old. Hi.
Hey. Wow. Yeah, so that's kind of me in a nutshell. One thing I wanted to add to that was recently, this is really exciting for us, my husband actually became work from home as well. So he just left his 9-to-5 job. And he has a trades business, but he's now working from home and working kind of freelance contractor here in Medicine Hat. So that's a big deal because that was a goal we set 2 years ago when my business started to take off, that if I was making enough to kind of justify that where we were comfortable, then he was going to take that risk too, so that we could kind of have our dream lifestyle, which is having the ability to make our own schedules and both, kind of have coffee together in the morning and get rid of that rush. And so that's what we're really celebrating right now, is this big shift. And we're 2 weeks into it, and it's been amazing. And he's been busier than we could have expected. A lot of people have been really supportive of that. So yeah, that's one thing I didn't put in there, but that's one thing new and exciting with me.
It's so cool. Congratulations to you guys. That's like a huge, huge, huge accomplishment to have you both working from home and both doing the entrepreneur life. That's amazing. So huge kudos. How's that going?
Well, it's really good because, like I said, my kids have a huge age gap. My son is 5, so he's in kindergarten. And I kept saying, when my son goes to school full time, that's when I'm going to go full on into my business. I'm going to go 10 times. Well, instead of doing that, around this time last year, I decided I was going to get pregnant and have another baby. So we have a little, he's only 11 weeks old. We have a little one. He might join us because you never know when he's going to wake up. And I decided to do the mom thing again. I don't know what I was thinking. There must have been something. So my husband, who really wants to have a bigger family, he was like, we have to do it now. 5 years is too much of a gap and stuff. So we did. And then I was like, well, you're going to be equal, like, in this. And this is how we're going to make that possible. Because the way that I work, although I am a mommy entrepreneur and mommy first, and I value all that, it's stressful juggling the kids and trying to, like, grow a business at the same time. And because with my 5-year-old, I started in 2012, it was all about kind of trying to figure out how to make this business work and have him. And this is different. This is a completely different change because my husband comes home and then he's in charge of the kids and I work. And it's no longer that stress or that feeling of guilt or tearing between the two. Like, mommy just has to finish this and then I'll pay attention to you and back and forth. And it's completely different lifestyle, completely different story. And I'm so happy that we're finally there where it's going to stick. And because there's nothing sexier too than like a dad doing the dad thing and he's just going to be here. It's great.
Right? Like, that is so, like, I love that. My husband definitely isn't an entrepreneur. He's still out doing his thing. But I love when he comes home. You know, my son gets home from school long before he gets home from work. And I love it when he comes home and takes over too. And it's just really, yeah, I know what you mean by that's like that little bit of sexy when the dads like totally jump into dad mode and they're all in it. It's super cool.
I couldn't ask for anything better. And it's allowed me to, even in just these 2 weeks, kind of change up what I'm doing. And it frees up that time that I want to focus on my content and really polish what I'm putting out there. I do put out a lot of content. If you guys follow me, I'm always on it. But this has given me a chance to do YouTube videos, which I didn't have the time to really do before. So really polish content there. And start working on some new projects that I'm going to launch and start thinking about the future rather than just the day-to-day because I just have that little bit of extra time and it makes all the difference.
Yeah. So let's like jump into this because your whole focus is on growing your social media following and the clients that you bring on board. That's what you focus on. And that's your wheelhouse. That's what you do.
Growth hacking.
Growth hacking, and like some of the reviews on you are like off the charts. I'm like, are you kidding me? How do these people get 1,000 followers in less than a week on their page? And I'm like, whoa. Now, you guys, I got to give you a little backstory. I trolled Brandie for a long time before I ever said hello to her. And then I started like hanging out in her space and watching her and watching what she does. And she is a queen at connections. Like, and you are a queen at connections, and you are just you have really, really mastered use of being human with your connections. And I really want to like that social aspect of it, like is totally 100% your wheelhouse. And like, I just wanted to acknowledge that and point it out and to say that I trolled you for a long time before I said hi and and reached out and, we started interacting together. But I really want to like start there on that social and that interaction there and what, like, because I know that's a big part of what you do and why you do it.
Yeah. Okay. There's a story there. There's actually a huge story there. So when I started in 2012, I definitely was not who I am now. And I was looking at a lot of other influencers or marketers, that dirty word, doing their thing and thinking that I wanted to be them. And in 2012, I know it wasn't that long ago, but it was a different story. Like, live video hadn't come out yet. Snapchat was not huge yet. There was no stories so it was still curated. Content was still the trend, and curated means that everything is very polished. You got white backgrounds, everything looks, perfect, and everything is over edited. And that was what was trending at that time. And I remember looking at that and being like, well, I don't live in a house that looks like that. I don't live in a $1 million mansion. I don't got Ferraris to show off. I don't have that. And that's what seems to be what everybody else is doing. Not that I invented authenticity, because that became a marketing buzzword here. Like, everybody says, be authentic, connect, business storytelling. Those are all buzzwords that you'll hear. But the people who are doing that right are not talking about doing that. They're doing that. You and I, when we did our pre-interview, I said, well, a lot of people say, let's connect. And I'm like, no, 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 you don't say let's connect. You actually connect. You actually connect by being like, you know, what's your dog's name? I like the color of your hair. Like, anything you can connect on a surface level that allows kind of an invitation for a deeper conversation. But I didn't know that in 2012. In 2012, I did what I see a lot of people doing now. And I went through kind of that identity crisis where you're like trying to be bigger than you are, trying to, you know, speak to things that you don't have experience in. And it didn't work. I mean, when I look back, I'm almost embarrassed by what I put out. And I've had a history of blogging. I've had a history of documenting what I'm doing, but it didn't take off until I said, fuck it. I'm just going to be myself. I'm sorry. I just said fuck it now on your thing, but until I said that and really just embraced that wasn't going to be my reality. I'm just going to show up as I am, going to make it fun. That's when things started to take off. So even though I've been at it for like 6 years, it wasn't really the last 2 years that people even paid attention to me. And it's funny that you say, well, that's what I'm known for, because that's what I think made them pay attention. In my space where I was hanging out, it was completely different, especially because I was hanging out with the social media marketing experts, guru types, and they were doing things one way. And me, I was just like, well, I can't do it that way. And I'm dying trying. I'm drowning. I'm buried. So let's try something different. And that's when it worked.
Yeah. Interesting. And so what you find is working now is what? Like
what? Okay, so when they say business storytelling, I do use that terminology. And your marketing, just put a pin in that. You just show things as they are in your real life, and it makes the stress of what am I going to post today so like stress-free. You don't have to worry anymore. It's not like, oh, it's creativity within kind of a strategy, and the strategy is to be visible, and you want to demonstrate your talent, knowledge, and expertise. And the way that you do that is by talking about what you do on the regular, but not in a salesy way, just being like, here's what's going on in my business. By inviting people in, by connecting on kind of, like I said, those trivial things, like, here's what my kid did. You know, here's my real life, you know, messy hair, don't care kind of shit. But seriously, you just like, as it is, you just tell your story day to day and put out content, and you do that consistently. And that's all there is to it. You get on stories when you can find the time and post something. You post Facebook statuses. If you have wit and you can be funny, I find when I try to make a joke, even though I'm not sure if everybody gets my brand of humor, but the people who do are like, yeah, girl, I know what you're talking about. And that's what you have to do. But it's way easier than working from some kind of content plan or trying to, like, you know, hack it. The growth hack is that there is no hack. It's be social on social media. Treat everybody like a friend. Yeah. Treat it like normies, like the people who aren't selling anything, treat it, because then you're welcome and refreshing, rather than trying to, you know, pretend to be something that you aren't, because most of us aren't at that level yet. And just be yourself. I mean, it's so cliche, but that's the secret.
Melanie says arrested development memes. What's that mean? Does that make sense to you?
Okay, so Melanie has really connected with me on I do memes. So memes are kind of, so I've been online, living an online life since I was like 14 years old. So memes and kind of Reddit culture and YouTube culture, all that kind of like internet subculture is my language. Before there was Facebook, I was living it up on gaming forums and just hanging out. And this was when I was younger. But memes are huge to me. And so I started making memes. And a lot of my memes are Arrested Development, like the TV show Arrested Development, because, you know, there's so many quotable, hilarious moments that you can turn into real memes that speak to something. But I make memes. So that's what she's talking about.
I think I remember when you posted about that you started doing memes. And that wasn't too long ago, was it? That you actually started creating memes.
So I've always incorporated, well, since I've kind of got a handle on what I'm doing, I've always tried to incorporate memes and humor and stuff. But I started a sub Facebook page, and it's not really something I like. It's kind of just for fun. but I created a little guide on how to create your own memes. So I sell that for $12 on there, and it's funny social memes. It's a Facebook page, and I post memes on there. And then you can also buy training tutorial from me for $12 on how to make memes. So I posted that I'm living my dream because I'm getting paid to make memes. And the memes serve as marketing to sell that $12 training, because why not monetize that skill? Because people ask me all the time, how are you making those memes, those video memes? I'm like, oh, well, I'll tell you for $12.
Right. And I think that might have been what I had seen that you had posted. And I was like, whoa, what? Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
Well, yeah. Because there's probably a lot of people watching who are trying to figure out, you know, this online entrepreneurship thing. And those residual income products or those passive income products are actually a lot simpler. This was the first year I started selling those, because that's like, oh, one more place to make a little bit of extra money. Right. But teach something that you know that other people want to know, and create a simple tutorial, and then sell that at a reasonable price. If there's questions that people ask you all the time, like I get 1 million brain picks a day, and that was one thing. I'm like, well, all these things people are asking me, if I just had a product that was like low ticket, like, you know, said $12, $20, I'll teach this to you. When they ask me on Facebook Messenger, hey, Brandie, how do you do this? I want to have something to sell them. And that's just being savvy about your business, but also realizing too that like the things that might be second nature to you could be a total like product. It could be something that people will buy and pay you to teach them.
Absolutely. You know, and I think, I mean, we're kind of getting off topic here, but that's so important too, to realize that what you do, so many other people don't know how to do, right? Like that's your lane and your expertise and what you're brilliant at, and comes second nature, and it's no big deal. But like to somebody else, like we were talking off camera, all the tech issues, right? Like for people, like that, monetize that, people. Like, like really, like, yeah.
With engagement, because that's, I guess, just to bring it back to topic, is engagement gets visibility. So we wanted to talk about why engagement matters. Engagement gets you visibility on all of the social media platforms. If you have engaging content, that means there's likes, comments, shares, hearts, all that jazz. The algorithm considers that content quality content, because it's just a computer, guys. It's looking for what people are interacting on, and then it's going to show that to more people, because obviously it's popular and relevant. So it's going to show it to more people. So that's why engagement matters for marketing. And that's why when you're kind of defaulting to the commercial sell or, you know, old school style advertising, you're missing the mark, because people don't want to be advertised to. So they're not going to engage. So you're not going to get that free organic visibility. I work with both organic and paid strategies. So when you're like, oh, they got 1,000 followers and stuff when they worked with me, it's because we did a paid strategy. But it's the content that we used for the ad. My ads convert because they don't feel like ads. I take people and I go like, we want it to feel as little like an ad as possible. We want to feel like it's welcome in the online space. That's how you get engagement on social media advertising content in 2018. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. You touched just a smidge on the algorithm and the interaction in the algorithm. Can we like stick there for just a little bit longer? Like, like, because that changes on a daily, if not minute.
Okay. So a lot of people will say that the algorithm or Facebook's being mean to me. It's not showing my posts.
Right.
The algorithm is actually irrelevant if you understand quality content and engagement. The algorithm can change, but it will always show people the content that they're most likely to interact with. And so social media, you have to view it as, okay, it's a vessel being ran by an algorithm, and that's a learning algorithm. But Facebook itself is a business as well. And if you're putting out quality content, you're keeping people on the platform. And that means that you're giving them space to advertise on. So people who are quality content creators and who get engagement get visibility for free, because you're creating something that these platforms want. Now, Facebook's kind of my zone, so I'll talk about Facebook. But if you get engagement, then Facebook favors you. And it doesn't matter how their algorithm changes. They're going to put your content first because you keep people's attention. And that means you keep them on the platform, which means you make them money. And when you understand that this is how these platforms work, all of a sudden you're like, well, I'm going to put some effort into my stuff because I want to be visible, because I don't want to have to pay. It's either pay to play or be a content creator and be brilliant in creating content.
Yeah. So like content is like another like, oh, I don't want to talk about it. It's so hard. Oh my God. How do they come up with the stuff all the time? Like,
but it should be easy.
And that's one of the things that you love too, right? Is like making it easy.
Well, when I was doing coaching, and I'm not available for coaching right now, so I'm not going to promote that, but I would work with entrepreneurs, and a lot of them were like, give me like a strategy of what I should post every day. And I'm like, there's no, like, I'm not going to give you rules. This is what you do. You post every 2 or 3 hours, something that is on topic or personal to you, and you're just present, and you ask questions, and you treat people like human beings. It's super simple when you just like cut out all this, like, here's, 3 strategies and all this, and you just look at it as, why would you follow a stranger on social media? Like, it's because of the value that they offer you. And value is another thing that gets easily overcomplicated. But value is just entertaining, informing, and engaging. That's all you need to focus on. Because whatever it is that you're connecting on, like, oh, she's a mom like me, or, she's kind of a hot mess like I am. If that's the connecting point, you just stick with that by being that person. And entertain, engage, and inform. That's all you need to do. Just make sure you're doing it consistently every single day, and you're not putting on a hat and being a character. You're being yourself. It's not hard when you look at it that way.
Right. And I think you hit it on the head, is that we all take it like to the extreme and overthink it and make it like this big looming, oh my God, I gotta do that content thing, right? And make it way harder than it needs to be. And I'm like you. It's like, man, how many things in the course of your, like, getting up and getting in the shower, right? Get your family off to work, like, is relatable. I mean, it's relatable, and it changes every single day. Like,
one thing about audience building, and a lot of people will talk about target demographic and all that, the person that you're most likely, and I'm not saying this is for every type of business, but for most businesses, the person who you're most likely built to serve is someone who's just like you, but 10 years behind. Yeah. Just put a pin in that thought. Teach what you know and share and tell a story, but realize that your target demographic are probably people who identify with your life story and your passions and your interests, but they're maybe a little bit further behind, and they're going to follow you because, they connect with how similar you are. You can't manufacture that. That is just realizing that, oh, here we go. I used to really resist the mommy entrepreneur cliche because I was like, I'm just going to keep the fact that I have children and all that a secret. I don't know why I felt that way. It had a lot to do with my inner narrative about what that meant and getting older and social media being a young space. And I thought, like, I'm not going to be able to compete with those, like, 20-somethings in Silicon Valley if I highlight my mommy entrepreneurship. But when I did it, all of a sudden people come into the woodwork. Like, there was this whole audience I was actually, like, resisting. And now I really connect to, and there are people I can actually relate to because I don't live in California. I don't live in Silicon Valley. I don't know what it's like to be that professional 20-something trying to get my startup off the ground. I wanted to be like those people. They fascinated me, but that wasn't my reality. And I accepted my reality. And then all of a sudden, there's all these people I can serve that want to have a business and have a family and are all 20-somethings, but they're in a different point where they are married with 2 kids. Yeah. And that's when the magic happened, when I just, like, accepted the reality, showed up as I was, and, like, put my family in, and they're part of the story because, like, it's hard to hide them then. Like, there's no way going, like, okay, kids, just go over there while I take this, picture of this thing we're doing. So that's when it worked.
Yeah, that's so cool. That, and I think when you find your reality, find the lane, right? Find your interaction, find your right crowd, that whole target market, whatever you want to tagline that. Yeah.
That's the funny thing too, is I always say, don't think about people as potential customers. It's gonna kill you. It's gonna send you in the wrong direction. I thought of it too about like, why did I start trying to build a social media presence? And this was surprising when I really did the deep work on it. But I think I was lonely. Like being an online entrepreneur, everybody talks about the loneliness and stuff. And as badly as I wanted more customers, I also really just wanted more people to relate to that kind of got what I was going through and kind of felt that too. And I talked about kind of treat it like the water cooler, like your social media, like treat it like, you know, this is water cooler talk. Like we're just hanging out. Make it fun for yourself. I mean, when I made it fun for myself, it became something I loved rather than felt like a chore. If social media feels like a chore, you're doing it wrong. That's what one of the quotes that I like share with people all the time. I'm like, yeah, you're doing it wrong if it's like something you like are like, oh, it causes you this stress, because it's supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
Unwind, relax, water cooler talk kind of thing.
Just fun girlfriend stuff, man. Like,
yeah, no. You'll find those customers if you do it this way. That's the funny thing, is I really believe that. Maybe to my detriment, but I really believe it doesn't have to be this hustle and swindle and like, you know, win people over with all this like false promises. I think they will come if you take this approach. There are factors like you do have to have some like ability to entertain people or teach. Those skills will really help you. Obviously, like you need to be comfortable, like have a confidence to you. If you go live, if you post pictures of yourself, you do all these things, like there are certain things you curate. Like everything does have intent to it, but it's like it doesn't have to be perfection. You don't have to sweat it, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and I love that you point that out, because so many people think, oh my gosh, my hair doesn't look right today. I'm 10 pounds overweight. The lighting's not right. I don't know. My plant's half dead. Right? Like all kinds of silly things. And I've been guilty of that myself, you know, in different arenas. And I think that you're so right. If you quit focusing on the fact that we're just like everybody else and just make it fun and focus on creating like the connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody, like most of us, so I always look at it in two ways. There's the normal users of social media. So they're just on there, like they tolerate the marketing. They're just on there to have a good time and to be entertained for a few minutes. You know, they're sitting on the toilet, most of them. Yeah. Then there's us marketers trying to sell something. And we have to always keep in mind what we are like to them, because that's the majority. That's the majority of people. We are the exception. So we all like flock together and we have like, you know, this online community of awesome online entrepreneurs doing our thing. And we have, you know, similar motivations for what we're doing. But the average person who may very well be your potential customer, they don't use social media like that. So you need to kind of think like they think, which is like, I want to see some cat videos. I maybe want to learn something about something I'm interested in. I want to like, you know, see a pretty picture. Like it's not overcomplicated for them. And if you make it too overcomplicated, you're going to put them off. And that's how you can win over the majority audience, not just, you know, a lot of us are just like hanging out in these circles of entrepreneurship. You want to go out and you want to find actual customers, and customers are normal users of social media, not marketers like us. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I love it. Hey, we are quickly approaching the end of our time. Let's talk about how people find you, where people can hang out in your space and get more of Brandie Michelle. Like, okay, so what do you have going on right now?
The best way to connect with me, if you just want to see what I am up to, is actually to follow my personal Facebook. Or if you don't feel comfortable with that, like you don't want to send me a friend request, or you don't want to follow there. If you follow, it's just one-sided. I can't see you. You can see me. Send me a friend request. I'm down with that. That's where most of my people are. Or my Brandie Michelle Peters public figure / Facebook creator page. So Facebook creator, if you haven't heard about it, it lets you actually monetize your content. They're rolling that out. So my profile is that. So Brandie Michelle Peters on both. Instagram is Brandie Peters. But I'd love to bring you guys over to my YouTube channel. I have some cool content that I'm just sitting here editing in all my spare time to put out. That's where I try to offer the most value now is in solid video content. So if you do one thing, hit me up on my YouTube channel. If you want to work with me, my business is Growth Hack Ads. Crazy Facebook Growth Hacking is the Facebook page, but the business is called Growth Hack Ads. and I can help you basically get this Facebook thing working for you. I create high converting Facebook ads. My results, go check them out. I'm not going to boast them on, go check them out yourself. I get people acting on these ads, and that's basically, yeah, that's all I got to plug. That's
all you're gonna plug. Yeah. When we're done when we're done live, will you drop those links in the feed so the people can just easily click on them and go find you and hang out with you in your amazing space and start picking up what you're laying down?
Totally, yeah. And thanks for having me on, Erin. This is
oh my gosh, you guys, we have been talking today. This is our time always goes way too fast with our people because they're so off the charts amazing. Brandie Michelle Peters is a growth hack, a Facebook growth hack, specifically ads expert. She's a social media strategist. She helps you grow your following and your page following and your page likes, and finds you clients that way with those hot targeted leads. She is all about making the connections and making that conversation happen and be real and water cooler conversation. Keeping it fun and keeping it focused on the fun. If you guys want her, she will drop her links in the feed when we're done here. But we've been on the Erin Strayer Show today. You guys, thank you so much for being here live. Again, if you are watching the replay, let us know you're watching the replay in the comments below, and we will see you right back here soon. Thanks for hanging out with us, everybody.
Bye, Erin. Bye, guys.
Hang on.